So, good afternoon. Courtroom 3, are we still pulling folks up?
We can start with Courtroom 3, then Union City, and then Courtroom 2 will be logging on shortly.
Okay.
But they're still pulling people.
So shall I do South Annex first?
You can do me first, Courtroom 3 first, South Annex, and then Courtroom 2 should be on, Judge.
Okay, thank you. All
Thank
right, this is the information for Courtroom 3 and South Annex. Good afternoon. My name is Judge Jessie Law. And, oh, Ms. Clark, I'm sorry. May I swear you in?
Sure. Hi. There's actually two of us today. You might want to swear in both of us. We have two separate cases.
Oh, okay. All right. Ms. Atkinson and Ms. Clark. All right. Do you both solemnly swear that the information you translate using the appropriate sign language is a true and accurate translation with no changes or embellishments?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Thank you. You may mute your screen. All right. We are going to proceed with South Annex and Courtroom 3. With regards to the ladies in those courtrooms, my name is Judge Jessie Law. This is what we call our state expedited accusation calendar. These are criminal cases in which individuals were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Soon after being brought to the jail, the prosecutor, which is the Fulton County Solicitor General, has already formally accused the individuals with certain misdemeanor offenses. This would be the defendant's initial appearance before a judge, at which time I will advise you of what the charges are, who is going to be your attorney, your next court date if appropriate, and what bond you will receive. When you receive a bond today, there may be certain conditions attached to the bond, such as staying away from the incident location, no contact with the victims, so forth and so on. During the course of these proceedings, please remember that you have a right to remain silent about the facts of your case. Anything that you say, your statements can and will be used against you during the course of this recorded and live stream court proceeding. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. We're going to begin with Courtroom 3. Who do we have in the courtroom?
Position number 7, Judge, please.
Thank you. This is Ms. Maricela Gonzalez Barrera. Ms. Barrera, do you need the assistance of a Spanish interpreter?
Amen.
Okay. Ms. Barrera's case number is 22 CR 003414G. The charge is abandonment of dependent child, a misdemeanor from a May 24th, 2022 incident. With regards to this case, Ms. Barrera is been reminded of her right to remain silent, and her attorney will be Ms. Wanda Gant. All right. First of all, I'm looking at my pre-trial, Mr. Toussaint.
The second arrest. 2020
Second arrest?
DUI. Yeah, 2020 DUI.
Do we have a disposition?
No.
Okay, thank you. Let me see, Ms. Mitchell.
Hi, yes, Your Honor. The state is requesting a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Tyga Gonzalez, defects visit, parenting class, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. As Your Honor is aware, the defendant left her son, who is also a minor, Tyga, Mr. Tyga.
We just refer to him as TG.
Okay. TG at the Roswell Library, located on 115 North Cross Street, Roswell, Georgia, for over 4 hours without any plans of going back to get him. The minor didn't know why he was left there. The uncle, Mr. Durrell, spelled D-U-R-E-L-L-E, Bowie, spelled Bouie, came to pick the child up and informed officers that he received text messages from the defendant stating she left her son because she was tired of being in the middle of things between her son, and his father. She also stated she didn't care if the state or police came and took her son. So based on that, the son, TG, was released to the uncle and stayed with the uncle for a week in school, and then flew out to Mississippi to live with his grandmother. Your Honor, based on the allegations, we're recommending the $3,000 surety to leave a child by himself in an unknown location with nobody he knows for that amount of time. We have serious concerns for public safety and for the child's safety. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Barrera Gonzalez is 31 years old. She is originally from Oregon, but has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 3 years. She has one child, a minor, who is the subject of this case. Your Honor, Ms. Gonzalez completed high school. She also has a bachelor's in accounting. She travels for work. However, she informs me that she does not have anyone to assist her with bond. We do not have any clear convictions on the file for Ms. Gonzalez. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond on Ms. Gonzalez's behalf. Of course, she denies the allegations, and at this stage, she is presumed innocent. I am opposed to the no contact order and would ask that Your Honor grant visitation in accordance with any defects orders. And we are also opposed to any parenting classes at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, from what I understand in the warrant, the child has never been in the custody of defects. Are you both aware if there's a pending open defects case?
I am not aware of that. In the warrant, it states that there is a request for defects to visit the child, and at this point, the child is in Texas.
Oh, well, 2 different states. I thought it was Mississippi, and you believe it's in Texas. Okay.
According to the information provided by my client, Your Honor.
All right. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. It's a signature bond through pretrial services. There shall be no contact with TG except in accordance with a defects, a Fulton County defects visitation or custody recommendation. That means, Ms. Barrera, defects is involved, and they're going to investigate the case, and they're going to possibly interview, I think, Uncle Bowie, according to the warrant, as well as the grandmother, as well as with you, to determine what is in the best interest of the child. All right, so you will have no contact with TG until defects has done its investigation and laid out its recommendation. Okay, I would highly recommend, I don't know if you qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office, but I would recommend that you retain your own counsel with regards to resuming custody and care of TG. Right. While you are out on bond, please remember that you are to maintain a current mailing address with us at all times. All right. And we will send you a court date to come back to court to see what progress has been made in the case. If you fail to show up, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest. No contact with TG means that you're not to contact him in person, through a third party, through a phone, through a cell phone, a computer device, or even on social media. All right, unless it's permitted by defects. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Speak, yes, please.
I do apologize for joining the call late. I do have a few updates for the court. I will need a breakout for position 2 with the sign language interpreter. I have not had the opportunity to interview him. And Your Honor, I will also be submitting a waiver of appearance for position 8, Sharon Grimes.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see now. Who is assisting you? Is it Miss Kim?
Ms. Kim is the PD that's on duty today, yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. let me see, courtroom 3, who's next?
Position number 11, please, Judge.
Is that your case, Ms. Gant?
No, Your Honor. I am assigned positions 1 through 8.
Okay. Mr. Jordan, please place Ms. Wanda Gant. And which sign interpreter are you using? We have 2.
Your Honor, we only need 1 interpreter.
I know, I have 2 of them. So are you using Ms. Atkinson?
I do not have a preference, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is for Mr. Bowman, position 2. We do
I'll just go alphabetically and use Ms. Atkinson.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I missed what you said about the second case, Mr.
There
Cohen.
is only 1 case. There is only one
Only one case.
First request was submitted in error.
Okay, so Ms. Clark, thank you for your service. You can bill us for your time. All right, and we'll just go with Ms. Atkinson. Thank you very much. You're free to
You don't
go.
need me to stand by. I could stand by and work with her if you'd like me to, but that's fine.
Yeah, all I'm saying is your services now, so it will be timeout, but you're more than welcome to stay. Ms. Jordan, please place Ms. Wanda Gant, Ms. Brenda Atkinson, and where is, oh, he's not available yet. He's still in courtroom 2. When you see him, Ms. Gant, then we'll speak to him, okay?
Who do you need?
I need William Boham, position 2.
Courtroom 1.
Courtroom 1, okay. Once courtroom 1 gets him on, we can have them in a breakout
He's right
room.
here. You can get a breakout session now.
Okay, courtroom 1. Okay, they're gone. All right. So position 9 right now with Miss Kim.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sharon Grimes, 22 CR 003416F is accused of battery with regards to alleged victim Monique Gray, is also a defendant in this case, from a May 30th, 2022 incident. Ms. Grimes, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is going to be Ms. J. Kim.
It's me, Your Honor.
Oh, sorry, Ms. Watson Cafe. Let's get the attorneys lined up. Okay. Your
Yes.
attorney is Ms. Zakia Watson Cafe. All right. And
The second arrest, last
Okay.
was 1985, simple battery dismissed.
thank you.
She's a resident of Savannah.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Mitchell, what's your recommendation for Ms. Grimes?
Your Honor, this is a co-defendant case, and we will be recommending the same recommendation for other co-defendants as well. It'll be a $5,000 signature bond, no further contact with the victim. And for her, Ms. Grimes' case is Monique Howard.
Monique, oh, okay, is it Monique Howard or Monique Howard Gray? Oh, Monique Gray and Howard. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, go ahead.
Stay away from the address 719 Hutchins Road, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia. I would like to note that we're unsure whose home that is, if it is a home.
I've only got Monique Howard at that location. I don't know whether Kareem Grimes lives there.
Okay. So a stay away for this defendant. 1-day anger awareness course and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Nothing
Oh.
further, Your Honor.
All right. Miss Watson Cafe, any objection?
I don't have an objection to the signature bond portion of it. Mr. Kareem Grimes is my client's son, who she has a close relationship with. It's my understanding that he resides with one of the other, I guess, the Monique, that he resides with Monique at that location. So
You represent
Miss Grimes, and she lives at
Sharon
a,
Grimes.
yeah, she lives at a different location. I just want to make it clear that she does not want, she doesn't want contact with the other co-defendant, female co-defendant, but with respect to her son, Mr. Grimes, she does want continued contact with him.
Okay, all right. Miss Sharon Grimes, this is an open active case against you in which you've been charged with battery. Your current bond is going to be $5,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. You can report to pretrial services telephonically. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you have to report to them once a month. And Ms. Grimes, you cannot afford to get arrested again, because if you do, that $5,000 signature bond will be converted to what we call a surety bond or cash bond, okay? These are the conditions of your bond. No contact with Monique Howard. Stay away from 719 Hutchins Road, Atlanta, Georgia. You're not allowed to go to that location. Do you understand?
Can I say something?
About the bond?
Yes, that's my son. He's the renter.
You are not going to that place. You don't live there or nothing. You do not go to that place. Do you understand? If you want to go to that place, it's going to cost you $5,000.
I don't want to go there.
Are you going to that place?
No,
All right. So you either sign out your bond for $5,000, or I can put a bond, cash bond for $5,000, and you can go there.
I'm not going.
I thought so. Stay away. That means stay 200 yards away from 719 Hutchins Road in Atlanta, Georgia. No contact with Monique Howard. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no firearms. We will send you a court date notice to appear via Zoom. You can do so from Savannah. Is Savannah your current mailing address?
Yes.
All right. Before you leave for Savannah, I would advise you to come down to the clerk's office at 160 Pryor Road and make sure that we have your correct address, email number, and contact number. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Next, we have Exposition 12, Ms. Howard.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Owen Lynch on behalf of Monique Howard on a conflict
Your
appointment.
Honor, give me 5 minutes, please.
Okay.
Give me 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Deputy Milton, you need 5 minutes?
Oh, not you, Your Honor. I was saying that for felony court. No,
Okay,
go ahead
I'm
with
just
this
going,
one.
I'm going, no problem. I'll hold on South Annex and I'm going to go courtroom 3 and then I'll come back to you.
Okay, because okay.
Yeah, all right. Please mute South Annex. No, that's okay, Mr. Oh, it's taken care of. Thank you. Courtroom 3, who do we have in the room?
Position number 11, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Lynch will be with your client shortly, okay? We have Angelique Marie Hamilton accused of criminal trespass in case number 22 CR 0034138. Ms. Hamilton, the alleged incident date is May 30th, 2022. You've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be, is it Ms. McLeod?
I believe it is Mr.
It is, Your Honor.
Oh,
Ms.
sorry.
McLeod? All right. Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod. Okay.
Good afternoon.
All right. And Mr. Cheney, good afternoon. Are you prosecuting this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
All right. And what is your recommendation for Ms. Hamilton?
Bond recommendation would be $2,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim, who is Larece Metoyer. First name Larrece, last name Metoyer. The incident location, as far as a stay away, we need to determine who is on that lease. I believe they are roommates. At the time of the incident, the alleged defendant came home after drinking. A verbal altercation ensued. The defendant ended up damaging the victim's television. Damage was not exceeding $500. There was mention of a knife, but neither party had some consistent statement as to what happened. There were cuts on the fingers of the defendant, and a knife was found on the floor. However, we are going forward with this as a criminal trespass only at this time. Further recommendation: no drugs, alcohol, no weapons, no new violations. That is our case, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Tucson, any priors on Ms. Hamilton?
Just she was cited in 2020 in the Army for a simple assault.
All right. Thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 27 years old. She is a veteran. She tells me that she just came out of the Army in February. She's originally from Chicago and she moved here to the Atlanta area because she wanted to get her CDL license.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
that's okay. I hope you're all right.
She wanted to get her CDL license, so she moved in with the complainant, who happens to be a childhood friend. They have known each other since grade school, essentially. She said they had an argument. She denies that she even touched or damaged anything for the defendant, and she has been living with her for a while. Of course, she is willing to leave if there is going to be no contact, but given her history, Your Honor, the fact that she really hasn't had any arrest. There was some incident apparently where she was charged with simple assault, but it wasn't stated that it was a conviction, Your Honor. Based on that, I would ask the court to consider giving her a signature bond so she can get out of jail and continue to pursue her CDL license.
All right. Bond is going to be set at 3,500. It's a signature bond through pretrial services. No contact with Larice Matoyer to stay away from 1507 Preakness Drive, apartment 1507. I believe that's in Atlanta, or is it in Atlanta or Alpharetta, Georgia?
It's Alpharetta, Your Honor.
Okay, it's in Alpharetta, Georgia. And Miss Hamilton cannot consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, and she cannot possess any weapons or firearms. If she has any, they have to be in a safe deposit box or surrender to the authorities. She can return to 1507 Preakness Drive in Alpharetta one time only with a police officer to retrieve her personal belongings. But after that, she's to not contact Miss Matoyer in person. She's to stay 200 yards away from her. She is not to communicate with her via phone or any electronic device or third party, and definitely not try to reach her through social media or discuss her on social media. All right. Compared to the cases I've had today, that doesn't mean she can use Preakness Drive as a place to collect mail. And no, she cannot live with Miss Matoyer if Miss Matoyer opens the door to her. All right. Simple as that. Yes, Miss McLeod?
I was just saying, thanks, Your Honor.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Her next court date will be sent to her at her new address. So Miss Hamilton has 30 days to update the court with her new mailing address so that we can send her her notice for her next court date. Miss Hamilton, you can come down to 160 Prior Street and speak to the clerk's office, and we can update your new address. If you don't show up at the next court date, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, South Annex, we have Miss Gray. Are we ready to proceed, Deputy Milton?
Yes, this is Miss Howard.
All right, sorry, I keep calling her Miss Gray, I'm sorry. It's Monique Janae Howard.
Yes.
Case number 22 CR 003418F. She is a cross defendant with regards to Kareem Grimes and Sharon Grimes. Miss Howard has been accused of battery from the same incident date of May 30th, 2022. And Mr. Tucson, Mr. Howard, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Owen Lynch. Mr. Tucson, any priors, please?
The third arrest, 2017 felonious assault out of Ohio, aggravated assault. It says convicted lesser offense. Before that was another 2017 assault arrest out of Ohio. That's it.
All right, thank you. Prosecutor, Mr. Cheney or Ms. Mitchell?
Your Honor, what position is that? I'm
This is
sorry.
position 12.
I
It's
believe
part
that-
of the three defendant case, the Grimes and Ms. Howard.
Yes, Your Honor, I think that's Miss Mitchell's case, if she's with us. Looks like she may have gone offline.
Mr. Jordan, is Miss Mitchell? I don't see her on the participant list. Is she in the waiting room?
She may be in a breakout that I don't know of. I know she needed one on number 2.
No, she won't be.
She's not in a breakout room, Judge.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Looks like she may have lost reception or something.
Yeah, she's not on the participant list. All right, Mr. Cheney or Miss McCutcheon, do you, either one of you have a bond recommendation?
She's coming back on now, Judge.
Okay, please let her in as soon as possible.
I'm back, Your Honor. My
All
apologies.
right, no problem. All right, Ms. Mitchell, we are on position 12, Monique Janae Howard. She's one of the 3 defendants arrested from the 716 Hutchins location, 719 Hutchins Road location.
Correct.
May I have your bond recommendation for Ms. Howard?
I have the ladies here.
This will also be a $5,000 signature bond. No further contact with victim Kareem Grimes. Stay away from, well, apparently it's her address, so we won't request a stay away for her.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
And Mr. Lynch, any objection to the $5,000 signature bond?
No, Your Honor, we're agreeable to that.
All right. Ms. Howard, your bond is going to be set at $5,000. Today is going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. Condition to the bond is no contact with Kareem Grimes and no contact with Sharon Grimes, both of them. You're not to contact them in person. You're not to communicate with them through a cell phone, electronic device, third parties, or even discuss them on social media. You're not to consume any illegal drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. You may return to the Hutchins Place location, but keep in mind that if you change your address, we are the first company that finds out where your new address is, okay? And the notices will be sent to you. And Mr. Lynch, please file an entry of appearance so that the notices may be sent to you as well.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Lynch?
I do apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem.
I did want to mention, we do ask the court to accept the recommendation of not imposing a stay away order, but just out of candor to the court, I believe that she is a roommate with Michael Grimes at the incident location.
I'll deal with that. Are you talking about Kareem Grimes?
I'm
or-
sorry, I meant Kareem Grimes. So that's
I'll
fine.
deal with that when I reach Mr. Grimes' case, but presently I have not issued a stay away. She is allowed to return to the property.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Now, but like I was saying, if she fails to, if we don't have a good address and she doesn't appear to the next court summons via Zoom, a bench warrant will be issued for arrest and the signature bond will be revoked. She must report to pretrial once a month, and this will continue until the case is resolved. Any other questions, Mr. Lynch?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's a per judge for Howard.
Yeah.
Next, we have position number 15, Ms. Palmer. Come on, Ms. Palmer.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's representing Ms. Palmer? Mr. Lynch, if you're done, you're free to go. Thank you.
Palmer will be doing it as a Your Honor.
Sit down. No, not you.
Ms. Kim, repeat that again. I'm sorry, you're on mute. You're on mute, Ms. Kim.
I apologize. She will be taking a plea offer and she will be doing it as a pro se, Your Honor.
Considering the current circumstances and her open case 22 CR 003344E, let's see first. What is the state offering?
Your Honor, this is my case. The state is going to offer time served and stay away from all MARTA. The defendant basically went into MARTA located at 235 Peachtree Street Southwest, entered an emergency door, while there was not a bona fide emergency.
You
the
do
mar-
realize that she was just released on May 27 on the same exact charges.
I did not realize that. No, Your Honor.
Case number 22 CR 003344E. She was booked in on May 26 for criminal trespass and violation alleging certain acts on a bus, rail, or station prohibited, and she was released on May 27th on a signature bond, which is now going to be revoked because of this new arrest. So even if she takes a plea today, she has to pay for the bond. In her
I
other
understand, Your
case.
Honor. I mean, that is a material change of circumstances. Therefore, we will withdraw the plea offer and go forward with the bond hearing.
All right.
Bond recommendation is a $2,500 total bond, $1,000 surety on criminal trespass, $1,000 surety on illegal acts, $500 surety on drug-related object. As I was stating, she entered an emergency exit without a bona fide emergency search incident to arrest. Law enforcement discovered a glass pipe commonly used to smoke cocaine and an active suspension July 25th, 22. That is our case, Your Honor.
All right. This is State versus Dacia Demetria Palmer, case number 22 CR 003423E. Ms. Palmer, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and anything you say about the facts of your case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and I am going to appoint Ms. J. Kim to represent you. Do you see your attorney there?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
All right. And the reason I am having Ms. Kim represent you is because I'm very well aware of the recent case in which 22 CR 003344E. Upon the prosecutor being informed of this, the offer of time served is now been retracted. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So now there are two pending cases against you. Please exercise your right to remain silent. And Ms. Kim, do you have a recommendation for bond?
Actually, I would like to request for a signature on bond, and yet I do understand that there's a open case pending. So we would like to request for a maximum of $1,000 a surety bond that is already currently on.
What is the open case? I don't know of the open case from the last time.
Yes, I can explain to you, Miss Palmer. I can call you and explain to you more detail. So she is 52 years old, and apparently she didn't realize that she had stay away from the MARTA.
Yes.
And yet we do understand that there was an open case. So we would like to request for $1,000 maximum surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Right now, she's got two active suspensions from MARTA.
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
first suspension expires on July 25th. The second suspension expires on July 29th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? So as far as I know, those are the two active suspensions, and she's violated the suspension. Ms. Palmer, I will let you speak in a moment, but you need to be quiet right now, okay? Let me just see one thing, pardon me. I can't tell. Mr. Tucson, is she got a signature bond through the jail or through pretrial?
I don't know.
Okay, let me pull it up. 22 CR 003344E. She was booked in on May 26, 2022. She was charged with criminal trespass and certain ex-bus rail station She allegedly entered MARTA in violation of an active suspension because that suspension expires in July 25th. She was given a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. All right. And then, unfortunately, this May 30th incident occurred on the violation, certain acts of bus allegedly entering through an emergency door, which is prohibited. That's going to be a $1,000 surety bond. On the criminal trespass, that's a $500 surety bond. In possession and use of drug-related object, that's a $500 surety bond. That's a $2,000 surety bond. To stay away from all MARTA property. I'm not putting an exemption there. This is just stay away from all MARTA property. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no firearms. And her next court date is going to be June 14th. And we are going to address both cases. The current one ending in 3423E and the prior one ending in 3344E. And that's going to be addressed on March 14th. June 14th, SAP calendar. All right. We can unmute South Annex, please.
I didn't do that. I had money on my card. I had $3 on my book. I didn't just go through those gates. I had money on my card the whole time.
Palmer,
he told a lie.
You have
now the criminal trespassing. I didn't know about that citation, but I had money on my card. I like that. I would like that to be thrown out.
Every right to stay silent.
I would like that to be thrown out, please.
Denied.
That's not true. I had money on my card. He stopped me for no reason on that purpose.
On June 14th, your attorney, Ms. Kim, will clarify with investigation.
No.
I
want a signature bond, or I want to be just time served because he told a lie.
June 14th, we'll see you. Thank you, Deputy Milton.
Your Honor, is that $2,000 surety?
Yes.
Thank you.
What is
May
that?
we be excused, please?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Deputy Milton.
Okay, position number 1, Mr. Allen.
All right, we are going on to courtroom number 2. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Judge Lal. This is the state expedited accusation calendar. These are cases in which individuals were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Soon after the prosecutor, that is the Solicitor General's Office of Fulton County, has formally accused the defendants of one or more misdemeanor offenses. Therefore, this would be your initial appearance before a judicial officer, at which time we will advise you of your case number, who's your attorney, what are the charges brought against you, and when's your next court date, and what's your bond going to be. Some of these bonds will have certain conditions, such as to stay away from the incident location or no contact with the alleged victims and so on. During the course of this recorded and live stream proceeding, please remember that you have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Any statements that you make about the facts of your case can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. All right, courtroom 2, we have physician number 1, and that would be Lawrence James Allen II, charged with simple battery domestic violence on May 30th, 2022. Mr. Allen, you've been advised of your, I don't think Ms. Gant is available. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Gant is not available yet, Your Honor.
Okay, she's still in the breakout room?
I believe so.
All right. Courtroom 2, I will handle Mr. Allen shortly as soon as his public defense attorney is available. Mr. Jordan, could you ask Ms. Gant in the breakout room to wrap it up? And they've had ample time to confer.
She just got started, Judge. Courtroom 2 had dropped off the Zoom. And they just logged back in about 5 minutes ago.
All right, please tell her to. All right, and Ms. Kim represents cases from position 9 onwards, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, Your Honor.
Okay, so courtroom 2, do you have anyone from positions 10 onwards? I can address those right now.
So number 10, Mr. Hall.
Thank you. Mr. Allen will be with you shortly. William D. Hall is accused of simple battery and criminal trespass from May 29th, 2022. Mr. Hall, you have been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Sakia Watson Cafe. Is that correct? Or is
It
it
would be
Ms.
me,
Kim?
Your Honor.
Oh, it's Kim? All right.
Yes.
All right. So it's Ms. J. Kim. All right. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
Sorry.
14 total.
What's
Last
this? Go ahead.
19, driving without a valid license. Yeah, the 2014 ag assault DV, 2 counts of cruelty in the third. I'm not sure about the disposition. Got a 2013 battery DV conviction and a cruelty in the third conviction as well.
And what years were those?
13.
All right.
Got a bench warrant too for the ag assault and the cruelties. That's 14 SC 131022.
131022.
Hold on. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, 131022.
All right. Okay, who's prosecuting this matter? Ms. Mitchell, Mr. Cheney? Ms. Mitchell, are you prosecuting position number 10, William Hall, or Mr. Cheney?
That is Miss Mitchell again. There she is.
Hello.
Hello, yes, Ms. Mitchell, we are
Sorry.
addressing William Hall, position 10,
Yeah.
charged with simple battery, domestic violence, and criminal trespass.
Yes, I was able to hear that part. I don't know what's going on with my connection, but the state is recommending as to count one, a $4,000 cash bond, count two, $1,000 cash bond. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Totaling a $5,000 cash bond, a no further contact with the victim, Tanisha, spelled Tenecia, Journey, common spelling, a stay away from the address 3310-6 Drexel, spelled Drexel, Lane, East Point, Georgia, a third-party transfer of their child, a one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. As your honor is aware, in this case, the defendant battered the mother of his child, Miss Journey, by grabbing her by her neck and dragging her across the room. The defendant even pulled her shirt, causing her collar to rip as she walked out of the apartment. He also damaged Miss Journey's car by putting a large dent on the hood and by breaking the windshield and door handle in an attempt to enter her vehicle while she was inside it. The incident occurred when the defendant got upset that Miss Journey was out late at a friend's house. He sent her several texts demanding she return and that they were going to fight when she got back. When she arrived home, the defendant was irate, screaming, and confrontational. When she tried to leave the residence to avoid confrontation, that's when he grabbed her neck, by her neck, and dragged her back inside. Miss Journey was able to get away and exit the residence and got into the car. That's when the defendant stomped on the hood of the car and started kicking the windshield, and then tried to open the driver's side door and broke the handle off. When officers approached, the defendant began punching the window and screaming, quote, "Bitch, you call the cops on me," end quote. Your Honor, so as far as his history goes, he has a high risk of reoffending. So the aggravated assault and not criminal trespass, the cruelty to children charge in 2014, he was convicted but pled under the First Offender Act. This was the same victim, Miss Journey. And in this case, he hit her left leg with a bat while she was holding their daughter, who was an infant at the time. He was given a bond of $26,000 surety. And then the battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in 2013, again, same victim out of DeKalb, case number 13C 54393. Wasn't able to get the bond on that case due to the case being old, but so we have two cases that involve the same victim. So we are concerned of him being a risk of reoffending. Our victim advocate also had an opportunity to speak with Miss Journey, and she stated she doesn't fear the defendant and that she only called the police because she wanted the defendant to leave. She also stated that the defendant has never been physical with her like this before. She also stated that she wants no violent contact with the defendant, but doesn't want the defendant to return back to the home. And Your Honor, this is a red flag for us. We have concerns that there's witness intimidation going on in this case because there are other instances and cases where he has been violent towards her, if not worse than what has happened in this case. So based on that, we are recommending the $5,000 cash bond. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hall is 32 years old and he has no objection to stay away from the incident location. They do not live together. Actually, he has another place that he can go to. And he's married to another lady anyway. He only has one child with her, and yet he has 3 other children. So total 4 children he has. He has to take care of them. He is financially responsible to take care of those 4 minor children. And he has his family is here, so he's not flight risk at all. And he has been employed at McDonald's as a manager, and he has graduated from high school. And those incidents happened remotely about 8 years ago, Your Honor. So we would like to request for actually signature on bond because he was recommended by pretrial services for unsecured judicial relief. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request for $1,000 maximum surety bond, or for each charge, so $2,000 surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, that bond assessment was incorrect. He got bench warrant, so he not.
Oh, it was incorrect.
He's got a probation warrant, actually. So that's
Okay.
what the bench warrant is. All right. On the simple battery, it's going to be $3,500. On the criminal trespass, it's $1,500. That is a surety bond. His next court date is June 14th. He's to have no contact with Tanisha Journey. I don't know if she lives there, but if she lives at 3310-6 Drexel Lane, East Point, then he is not to return to that property. He has to stay away from that property. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. No contact with Tanisha Journey means you do not communicate with her by phone, by any electronic device, in person, or through a third party. You're not to discuss her on social media as well. You are make sure that your address with the court is correct, and that we send you, because we're going to send you summons to come back to court in the future. But currently, your next court date is June 14th, and that would be at the jail. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you said they share a child together, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So with regards to the child, if he wants to have visitation or any custody, he would need to file a legitimation action and obtain a court order setting forth his custody and visitation with regards to the child with Miss Journey.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Miss Kim, I understand that you need to be in a breakout room with Courtroom 1 and the Spanish interpreter.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Miss Gant, are you available now? I think I saw her back from the Zoom.
Yes,
All
I am, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jordan, if you could place Miss Kim, Courtroom 1, and the Spanish interpreter in a breakout, we appreciate that. Miss Gant, are you available now to address the case with position 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, position 2 is that is Mr. Allen, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, Mr. Lawrence Allen, you've already been advised of your rights, and this is case 22 CR 003408B, charged with simple battery domestic violence. Any priors, Mr. Tucson? I'm sorry, you have to refresh our recollection.
It's first arrest.
Okay. Ms. Mitchell, any recommendation?
Your Honor, we're recommending a $5,000 signature bond, no further contact with the victim, Chiasia White. Chiasia spelled CHIASIA White. A stay away from the address 388 Carriage Trace, Roswell, Georgia. 1-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Gant, any objection?
Your Honor, I am not opposed to the signature bond. However, Mr. Allen would like to continue having contact with the complaining witness, Chiesa White. However, Your Honor, I was unable to get in contact with her by phone. I did call and leave a message for her, so we will defer to the court's ruling on that.
Chiesa White, are you present? All right, I don't see her.
She's in the back.
I'm sorry, Chiesa White, is she present?
I am, yes.
She's in the jail.
Oh, she's at the jail. All right, Ms. White, if you'd like to add any comments to this court, please raise your right hand.
I would just like to keep, oh, right here, sorry.
You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge.
Yes.
And what's your name?
Shaija White.
And do you live with Mr. Lawrence Allen?
I do.
And what would you like to tell me?
That I just want to keep seeing him basically.
I repeat that.
I would like to continue contact with him. He called for help. It wasn't that big. He tried to get help for himself, and I guess they said it was a state law for any call.
And Your Honor, if I may just limit the complaining witness's testimony to her wishes regarding contact.
I would like him to get on a signature bond if possible.
All right. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Mitchell, did you have any questions of Ms. White?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Gant, did you have any questions of Ms. White?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Deputy. She may leave the room back to the gallery.
Thank you.
Bond is going to be set at 3,500. It is a signature bond. It's a signature bond through pretrial services. No contact with Chiesa White, and he's to stay away from 388 Carriage Trace in Roswell, Georgia. He may return to that location one time only with a police officer to retrieve his personal belongings. Within 30 days of being released, he must update the court with his new address so we can send him his next court date. No contact with Chiesa White means not communicating with her in person, through a third party, through a cell phone, electronic device, or discussing her on social media. At the present time, while you are released on this bond, you will attend a one-day anger awareness program that will be monitored by pretrial services. And within 60 days of release, you are going to complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and submit yourself to any treatment. You may look up any qualified providers and provide that. And then within 60 days, you must show proof that you have an appointment for an alcohol and drug evaluation. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
All right. Your next court date will be sent to you to your new address. $3,500 signature bond through pretrial means that you keep in touch with pretrial once a month and that you do not get arrested and that you comply with the conditions of your bond. If there are any violations, your bond could be retracted and converted to a surety bond or a cash bond. Understood?
Yes.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, if I may, did you order an alcohol, drug, and evaluation treatment for?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Will there also be a no alcohol, drugs, and weapons?
Yes, no alcohol, drugs, and no firearms. Yeah. Until we get the results of the alcohol and drug evaluation. Thank you.
I got number 3, Mr. Carter next.
I'm sorry, what position is this?
Number 3.
All right. Can we reach William Bond soon? Because I've got an interpreter on hold.
Same room with the Spanish interpreter right now? They're in the same room.
Okay. All right. William, I'm sorry. This is Kevin Carter accused of battery, domestic violence in case number 22 CR 003-411G. Carter has been advised of his right to remain silent, and his attorney is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
17 total. Last was 2016 trespass, simple battery. Simple battery was transferred to state court. The trespass was a conviction. 2014 misdemeanor marijuana conviction. Sell a marijuana conviction from 2014 out of Savannah. 2014 DUI conviction. And he had an old burglary conviction, but I ain't seen any more violence.
All right, except 2016.
Yeah, and
All right. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Tiffany Branch, a stay away from address 415 Fairburn Road Southwest, apartment 1302, Atlanta, Georgia, a one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. In this case, the defendant battered his living girlfriend, Ms. Branch, by striking her in the face, causing swelling and an abrasion. He also bit her finger, causing additional bruising. I'd like to add to history that the criminal trespass she was convicted for in 2019 was actually a simple battery. There was a simple battery that merged with the criminal trespass. So he doesn't have many violent crimes, but he does have some. He is a convicted felon with a history of drug and DUI convictions. So based on his history and the allegations, we are recommending the $3,000 surety bond. Nothing further, Your Honor.
I don't see a Tiffany Branch on the Zoom, so Ms. Gant, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Regarding Ms. Branch, I did make contact with her. She informed me that she is at work and she's unable to join the Zoom call. She also informed me that she wants to continue having contact with Mr. Carter. Now, regarding Mr. Carter, he is 33 years old. He has spent in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 3 years. He has a 7-year-old son. Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away at the incident location. I am informed by Mr. Carter that he lives there with Ms. Branch. And again, she would like to continue having contact with him. Mr. Carter completed 10th grade. He is now working on his GED. He just obtained employment at 1-800-GOT-JUNK. He has been in that position for 1 month. He's still on probation, and in fact, he is due back at work today. He does not have the means to pay much toward bond, therefore I'm requesting a signature bond. I do acknowledge my client's history, however it is remote, Your Honor. We are requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then I would request the lowest bond amount. And regarding the allegations, Your Honor, which my client denies, I would bring to the court's attention that my client actually had 2 scratches on his neck and an abrasion on his forehead. He contends that he was acting in self-defense, Your Honor. And just to summarize again, a signature bond or the lowest bond possible, a no violent contact order, no stay away. And if Your Honor orders a stay away, then a one-time law enforcement escort, and they do not share any children. Therefore, we are not requesting a third-party transfer. Thank you.
Thank you. Bond is set at $2,000. It is a surety bond. No contact with Tiffany Branch. Stay away from 415 Fairburn Road, the apartment complex there in Atlanta. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. His next court date is June 14th.
And may Your Honor order a one-time law enforcement escort?
Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes. He can return to the property one time only once he bonds out with a police officer to retrieve his personal belongings. And within 30 days of being released, he must update the court with his current mailing address, residential mailing address. Thank you.
Judge, how much was that?
2,000 surety.
Next, we got number 4, Mr. Clark.
George Anthony Clark III was accused of willful obstruction of law enforcement officer. His case is 22 CR 003384F. This case was reset from yesterday's C calendar. This incident was from May 28th, 2022. Mr. Clark, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. Mr. Tucson, any priors?
Yeah, 25 total. I'm gonna sum this up real quick. Open case for possession of a firearm by convicted felon, possession of a firearm during the commission, possession of cocaine, that's 19 SC 169594. On probation, ag battery, ag assault, false imprisonment. They gave him 1 year to serve, 9 years probation in 2013.
That's good.
Felony yesterday and got $15,000 good bond.
Oh, okay, thank you. Mr. Cheney?
Yeah, our state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond. Stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, alcohol violations. This was the basis of a auto theft call. The defendant was found to have taken a car, which was the subject of that, to a salvage yard. Law enforcement approached defendant as a person of interest. He did flee on foot and pushed away from the officer, Horton, there, which ended up in a warrant for misdemeanor obstruction. The 3 failure to appears not mentioned by pretrial would be the basis for the surety bond. Thank you, Your Honor. That is our case.
Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. George Clark is 56 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has 4 children, 2 of which are minors, and he states that he is current and paying child support. Mr. Clark completed high school. He also is certified as a mechanic. He is disabled at this time, Your Honor, and has been so since 2012. He is a veteran of the Marines, and for that service, he is 70% disabled. Your Honor, Mr. Clark denies the allegations, and given the fact that he just received a $15,000 bond, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Clark's behalf, and would just remind the court that he is presumed innocent in any open cases as well as this one. We are unopposed to any stay away conditions, we are also unopposed to any conditions regarding no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond set at 1,000. This is a surety bond. Court dates June 14th. I didn't write down the incident location, Mr. Cheney. What was it?
Yeah, the incident location would be, it is Joe Louis Drive, and the numeration there is 225 Joe Louis, Louis Drive, Northwest Atlanta. That is where the vehicle was taken from. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. We'll stay away from Joe Louis, 225 Joe Louis Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you.
Number 5, Mr. Connor.
Michael Deshawn Connor is accused of battery, domestic violence, cruelty in the 3rd degree, and battery, a second count of battery, domestic violence in case number 22 CR 003410Y. Mr. Connor, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Anything you say during the course of these proceedings, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Ms. Wanda Gant. Mr. Tucson,
Total.
repeat?
18 total. History out of North Carolina and Mississippi. Last arrest was December 2020 for battery. It's 20 CR 005925Y. On probation in Clayton County. 2015, they gave him 3 years to serve, 7 years probation, robbery, eluding police officer. On probation in the cab for forgery. 2018 probation violation, got a simple assault conviction, 2014. He also has history out of state. I got assault with a deadly weapon conviction.
May I just inquire about these? I've got a fugitive hold from Rankin County. Is that Georgia?
Like North Carolina?
Is that North Carolina?
He does have North Carolina history, but that's probably Mississippi because he got a Mississippi arrest too.
And I've got a hold from Clayton County.
Yeah, the Rankin is Mississippi, and Clayton County is what it is.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Ms. Mitchell, what's your recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, in this case, we are recommending, so as to count one, a $2,000 cash bond, count two, $2,000 cash, count $3,000 cash, totaling a $5,000 cash bond. No further contact with the victims in this case. That will be Elijah Richard, Santana Bellard, spelled Bellard, and MC, the minor, the 10-month-old minor. A stay away from address 2601 Roosevelt Highway, apartment G8, Atlanta, Georgia. One-day anger awareness course, an ADT, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, according to the police report, the defendant battered his stepson, Mr. Elijah Richard, and his present spouse, Miss Santana Bellard, by striking and choking both of them. Mr. Richard stated that he was upstairs when he heard yelling and screaming downstairs. He ran downstairs and saw the defendant on top of his mother, choking her. Mr. Richard had to use force to pull the defendant off of Miss Bellard. That's when the defendant punched him and then got on top of him and choked him as well. Mr. Richard is 17 years old. He was able to get free once the defendant stopped and he called 911. Mr. Richard had visible bruising and scratches on his face. When officers questioned Miss Bellard about what happened, she was unwilling to answer due to the presence of the defendant. Once officers detained the defendant and took him away, Miss Bellard stated the defendant did strike and choke her as well, and that he was out of control. She also stated that the defendant wouldn't stop striking and choking her son, Mr. Richard, no matter how hard she tried to get the defendant off of him. She informed officers that this was a continuing issue. It's happened before. Miss Bellard suffered from swelling on her face consistent with being struck. And then the minor MC was upstairs within earshot of where the incident occurred. Your Honor, so the defendant is a convicted felon with a violent history as heard from pretrial. He does have an open battery family violence case with the same victim, Miss Bellard. So in 2020, he struck her in the face. His bond at that time was a $5,000 surety. He received a no further violent contact, anger management, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons at that time. And here he is again, being violent towards the same victim. We're also concerned the defendant is a flight risk. On his 2 outstanding warrants, there's note that he is a flight risk. He also has 1 FTA in 2014 and a fleeing conviction, along with a robbery conviction in 2015.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Michael Connor is 35 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area since 2011. He has 2 children, one of which he shares with the complaining witness, Miss Bellard. That is a 1-year-old minor child. He also has a son, age 7. He is paying child support for his children. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location and would ask that Your Honor grant a one-time law enforcement escort. We are requesting third-party transfer so that he can continue visitation with the minor child, the initials MC. Your Honor, Mr. Connor is employed. He completed high school. However, he states that he only does seasonal work at the Lakewood Amphitheater. He does not get very many hours. He does not have the means to pay much, if anything, toward bond. He does not have anyone on which to call to assist with bond. I acknowledge my client's history. However, I would ask that in light of his holds out of Clayton County and Mississippi, I would ask the court to grant signature bond so that he may deal with those holds. And if Your Honor is not inclined, then I would ask for a very low bond, which is a surety bond, a bond of no more than $1,000. That would be $500. Let me back up. That would be $500 for battery, family violence, 400 for battery, family violence, and 100 for cruelty to children. Again, we are unopposed to the no contact and the stay away orders. We are requesting that one-time law enforcement, and we are opposed to the ADET. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if the victims are on the line, I'd like to add what our victim advocate, the conversation she had with the victims.
No, I'm quite all right with that. Is Miss Santana Ballard or Elijah Richard on? I don't see them on the participant list. So-
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, someone called iPhone. Okay. I'm sorry, if you're Santana Ballard, you would have to appear via video in addition to audio.
I'm here.
All right. Did you want to say something?
Honestly, I just need him to take care of his other situations, and
If you
yeah.
have nothing to add, then you don't have to say anything. As simple as that. You have, all right. You can mute your screen, please. Thank you.
Your Honor, Ms. Beller did tell our victim advocate that the defendant was intoxicated at the time and that he drinks every time he gets physical. So that's why we are requesting the ADT. And the stepson, Mr. Richard, also stated that this is the first time they've had a physical altercation. Nothing further, Your Honor.
On the battery domestic violence, it's going to be a $2,000 cash bond only. On the cruelty charge, it's a $1,000 cash bond only. On the battery, it's going to be second count of battery is going to be a $2,000 cash bond only. No contact with Santana Ballard, no contact whatsoever. No contact with Elijah Richard, and any communication that he wants to have with the child with whom he shares with his spouse, Ms. Ballard, would have to be through a separation order or a divorce proceeding. He shall have no contact with any of the family members at 2601 Roosevelt Highway in Atlanta, Georgia. He's to stay away from that location, 2601 Roosevelt Highway in Atlanta, Georgia. If he has personal belongings at that property, a neutral third party can go by and pick it up. He is not allowed at that property at all. If he's released on bond, he's going to be required to be equipped with an ankle monitor, for which he will pay for that, the monitoring services. If he is picked up by Rankin County, Mississippi, pursuant to the fugitive hold, if he's extradited there, or if he's picked up by Clayton County, then the ankle monitor may be removed. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. If he is released from his holds and he makes bond, he will be required to complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and submit himself to any treatment. He's to complete a domestic violence intervention program, which is going to be a 6-month program at his expense. And if his next court date is going to be June 14th, at which time we will address this case as well as this other open case, 20 CR 0059255Y. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case, please. May we address courtroom 1, Deputy, or we still got few in courtroom 2?
This would be number 17, Mr. Turner.
Yes. This is Fernandez Turner. Do we have Christopher Small in the courtroom as well?
He is.
All right, may he come by and stand behind him? All right. This is State versus Christopher Everett Small. Case number 22 CR 003-422A, in which Mr. Small has been arrested for battery, domestic violence with the alleged cross-defendant Fernandez Turner, allegedly on May 30th, 2022. Same procedural facts apply to case 22 CR 003-4218, State versus Fernandez A. Turner, in which he has been accused of battery, domestic violence involving Mr. Christopher Small, same date. Both gentlemen, you've been charged with this offense. You've both been advised of your right to remain silent. With regards to Christopher Small, who is his attorney?
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim, all right. With regards to Mr. Turner, who is his attorney?
Zakia Watson, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Mr. Tucson, any priors on Mr. Small?
No.
Any priors on Mr. Turner?
It's his second arrest. He was arrested last month. FTA, no driver's license, out of Clarkston.
Clarkston, okay, he needs to go and take care of that. All right.
Well, he's already been arrested on it, so.
Okay. I haven't done that yet. That's all right. Mr. Cheney, are you addressing both cases?
Yes, Your Honor, the bond recommendation on both, because it's family violence, is $3,000 surety. However, we are unable to determine primary aggressor at this time, so no objection to a signature and amount at the court's discretion. These two parties were roommates living together at the time. Small was struck in the eye and arms, visible injuries. Mr. Turner, I'm sorry, the other party was struck also in the face. Along with the bond amount, we would ask that there be no contact between the two parties. However, any stay away would be determined by who is on the lease. We are not sure of that at this time. There'd be no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, no new violations of Georgia law. Hopefully, with further discovery, we can determine who is the primary aggressor and then go forward with the cases in that light. That is our case, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Kim, what's your response with regards to Mr. Small? Any objection to a signature bond?
No, Your Honor, we do not object to signature on bond.
All right. Mr. Christopher Small, your bond is going to be set at $3,500. It is a signature bond through pretrial services. You will report to pretrial. Listen very carefully. That's the reason why I ask you to remain silent. Do you understand? It's a signature bond to pretrial services. You are to, after today, you are to have no further contact with Fernandez Turner. You have to stay 200 yards away from him. You do not communicate with him in any way, form, or manner. You may return to 1868 Joseph E. Boone, Atlanta, Georgia, and you report to pretrial once a month. No illegal drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. Your next court date will be sent to 1868 Joseph E. Boone, whatever your address, unit number is there. And if you change your address, make sure we are the first folks to find out about that. Understood? You may go have a seat.
Your Honor, is it possible?
Your client's getting a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial services. Do you have anything else to add, Ms. Watson Cafe?
Yes, Your Honor, we would like to be heard on the issue of who gets to return to the property. It's my understanding that both of them are jointly on the lease agreement. Also, it's my understanding that Mr. I believe it's Mr. Small, has stronger ties in the community than my client. While my client, I would say he's not a flight risk, he doesn't have the same access to other properties. And so that him being forced to relocate is certainly going to be a bit of a burden for him.
Okay. Bond set at $3,500. It's a signature bond through pretrial services. He's to have no further contact with Christopher Small. He is to vacate and stay away from 1868 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, the property there. He can return one time only with a police officer to retrieve his personal belongings. After that, he's to stay away from that location. And once he's released on the signature bond, he is to update the court with his new address within 30 days of being released.
Yes, Your
No
Honor.
illegal drugs, no weapons, no firearms, and his next court date will be sent to him at his new address.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's all I have, Your Honor. Can I be excused?
Yes, Ms. Watson Cafe, thank you. We'll see you later. Do we have any other cases in courtroom 2? All right, I'm going to address courtroom 1 at the present time. We have our signed interpreter, Ms. Atkinson, who's been sworn, and Ms. Gant. All right. And let's see. All right. Mr. William Bowen, if Miss Brenda Atkinson, all right. Do you see the sign interpreter on the screen? Please signal by sign that you can see the interpreter on the screen. Deputy, can he see the screen? Can you point out to him where the interpreter?
We have the live transcript on the side of the screen, so he's reading what's been said.
All right. Can he tell me if he can see the sign interpreter on the screen? He needs to raise his hand to say yes or shake his head if he says no.
Yes, he can see me now, Judge.
Okay, that's good. State versus William G. Bowen is case number 22 CR 003-409C. Mr. Bowen, are you aware of what the charge is brought against you? Have you read the pleadings? He needs to indicate yes or no.
Yes.
I am not going to announce the charge, and I advise all parties to not announce the charge. It is a misdemeanor offense allegedly occurring on May 30th, 2022 at the Grady Hospital location. Mr. Bowen, you have a right to remain silent. Any information that you communicate could be used against you, because we would have to ask the interpreter to report what communication you have sent forth. You have a right to an attorney, and your counsel is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. We're going to hear your criminal record history, and then we're going to decide the issue of bond.
I understand.
Okay. Mr. Tucson, any priors, please?
34 total.
Repeat, please.
34 total.
Okay. Any incidences involving the same or similar offense?
No. I didn't see any violent convictions in like the last 20-some years. So. He has history out of Florida though, but I didn't see any violence.
Okay.
It's real old.
Thank you. Ms. Mitchell, I have read the warrant. I'm familiar with the allegations as well as the circumstances supporting this charge. So I would just like to address bond.
Okay. Well, the victim is on the Zoom line, and she did have a lot to say about what happened in his history at Grady Hospital. So in order for her to speak freely, we are still requesting the breakout room.
Okay. Is Miss Latricia Sheets here? Miss Latricia Sheets.
Yes, Letitia Sheets. Yes, I'm
All right.
here.
Ms. Sheets, I will speak with you in a breakout room with defense and prosecutor counsel very shortly. But in the meantime, Ms. Mitchell, what is your bond recommendation?
Your Honor, we're recommending a $7,500 surety, no further contact with Miss Letitia Sheets. Letitia spelled L-E-T-E-S-L, excuse me. Letitia spelled L-E-T-E-C-I-A Sheets, spelled S-H-E-E-T-S. A behavioral health evaluation, a one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. We're also requesting a stay away from Grady Hospital unless it's for medical treatment. And then it's hard for me to get into the reasoning.
Well, I can sort of gauge that, all right? Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. William Bowman is 54 years old. He informs me that he lives in Noonan, Georgia. We are opposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Bowman informs me that he is still receiving medical care at that location. Mr. Bowman did not graduate high school. He is currently employed at ASC and has been so for the past 10 years. He denies the allegations. He does not have anyone to help him with bond. And given my client's remote history from the report that I received, it's grand theft in 2013, and we did not hear about any prior related to this offense, nor any violence whatsoever. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Bowman's behalf. If Your Honor is not inclined to grant a signature bond, I would ask for the lowest bond possible, bond of no more than $1,000 surety. We are opposed to the behavioral health evaluation. I do not have any concerns regarding my client's competency, nor are there any concerns regarding any issues with substance abuse. We are unopposed to the no further contact order with complaining witness sheets. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Jordan, we're going to, if you could place me, Ms. Mitchell, and Ms. Gant, and Ms. Sheets in a breakout room, please. I'm afraid we're going to get into some medical information, and pursuant to HIPAA, I would need this breakout room.
That's crazy as hell.
Yeah, just wait, Ms. Sheets, you'll get a notice to join a breakout room.
Okay.
And you'll need to start your video once we're in there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Mitchell, were you supposed to go in that breakout room?
Yes.
Look down the bottom of your screen. You should see something that says breakout rooms. It just says that you're not joined.
And Ms. Mitchell, I'm sorry, Mr. Jordan, good afternoon. Ms. Mitchell, I sent you a chat too. If you would look at the chat.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Excuse me, Mr. Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, so you should see something on the bottom of the screen. It should say breakout rooms, and then it says join breakout room.
Okay, I see it.
Where you going now?
331. Three.
Courtroom one. Go ahead and mute your mic.
Go ahead for courtroom one.
She said mute the mic.
All right, we've had a conference with the alleged victim and prosecution and defense counsel. Based on the information that we received, there was some confidential information that could not be divulged in an open court proceeding, as there are HIPAA issues. By the present time, given the allegations raised in the warrant, given the current situation involving Mr. Bowen, and given the fact that he was an inpatient at Grady Hospital, the court is going to set the following bond. On the misdemeanor offense brought against Mr. Bowen is going to be a $2,500 surety bond. No further contact with Letitia Sheets. He's to stay away from Grady Hospital unless he's seeking emergency treatment or he is or if he has an appointment with a physician. While he's at Grady Hospital, he's to have no improper, illegal, or violent contact with any of the staff members, any of the personnel, and any of the individuals who are around him. I will allow Grady Hospital to use their discretion to determine if Mr. Bowen may be restrained while he's receiving treatment from any doctor, nurse, or any healthcare provider while he's at the hospital, if he's allowed to receive treatment there from a provider. Otherwise, he has the option of seeking other medical facilities such as Atlanta Medical Center.
Your Honor, if I may, regarding the appointment scheduled with the medical doctor, may I ask that that be extended to any treating provider?
Yes, if he has a treating provider who says that he's an inpatient in the hospital and he needs to be treated there, that is considered acceptable. However, like I said, it's up to Grady Hospital to determine how he's to be restrained while he is receiving treatment from medical personnel. I'm also going to require Grady to make sure that there is a security personnel in the treating room while there is medical personnel around him. He's not allowed to have any illegal, improper, or any violent contact with anyone around him while he's in that hospital. And no contact with Letitia Sheets. All right. Ms. Atkinson, if you could communicate to us what Mr. Bowen was responding to you.
He had signed 2,500 and then he signed doctor. 2,500? You said 5 years?
No, it's $2,500 surety bond. He would have to go through a bonding company in order to be released from jail. His next court date is June 14, 2022.
$2,015 I have to pay.
Bonding companies charge between 10 to 15% of the bond money. So it would be anywhere from $250 to about $400.
Okay. Okay.
And does he have any questions about his conduct when he's at Grady Hospital, if he's allowed to be there?
Can the hospital help me with $2,000?
My question is, does he have any questions about his conduct when he will be at Grady Hospital if he's allowed there?
I know I can go in. Interpreters clarifying. Does the hospital gonna charge me?
He's not answering my question, Ms. Atkinson. Ms. Sheets, please mute your screen. Mr. Jordan, please mute.
I understand.
I don't know what the hospital will do in terms of payment or charging him. I have no idea.
I have to figure out the money
Okay,
and then pay. I think.
please advise him if there are any more reports of alleged improper conduct while at Grady Hospital, his bond could be revoked and he would have to remain at jail.
I know.
Thank you. His next court date is June 14th.
Okay.
Thank you. That concludes this case. Do I have someone else in courtroom 1?
Yes, the Spanish interpreter case.
Okay.
He wants to figure out how to take money out of the bank. He's still. He says, okay. Thank you, Judge. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Atkinson. You have a good day too. You're free to go. You're free to stay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go. All right, Ms. Chancy, if you'd like to, do you solemnly swear and affirm the information you translate will be the true and accurate translation with no changes or embellishments?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I beg your pardon, this was position number
14.
14, okay. We have Joaquin Orellana Martinez. Mr. Martinez, case number is 22 CR 003420D.
Tenemos el caso del señor Joaquín Orellana Martínez y el número de caso es 22CR 003420D.
He is accused of DUI, driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and failure to obey a traffic signal or light on May 30th, 2022.
Él está acusado por conducir incapacitado por los efectos del alcohol y por incumplimiento de señal de tránsito el día 30 de mayo del 2020.
He has the right to remain silent. Anything that he says would need to be announced in court, and his statements can and will be used against him. He has the right to an attorney, and representing him is Ms. Kim.
Perdón, del 2022. Usted tiene derecho a guardar silencio porque todo lo que diga puede y será usado en su contra. Usted tiene el derecho a tener un abogado y en este momento su abogada es la señorita Kim.
I understand, Mr. Cheney, this is his first arrest. What's your bond recommendation?
Bond recommendation, Your Honor, is a $3,000 total surety bond, $2,500 surety on the DUI less safe, and $500 surety on the failure to obey signal.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to request for a signature on bond as pretrial recommended for unsecured judicial relief. This is, he has been here in Georgia for 23 years, and he has one child, and he has a family members here in Georgia. He's not a flight risk. He also has been working for a landscape company for more than 21 years. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
On the DUI, it's going to be $1,000 surety bond. on the failure to obey a traffic control device is going to be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. And I'm so sorry, Ms. Interpreter, we did not pause.
I will briefly
Okay.
say it. Señor, la abogada le explicó de que usted ha vivido en Georgia por 23 años, que tiene un menor, que no hay riesgo en que usted huya y no cumpla con sus obligaciones ante este tribunal y que se pide una fianza bajo firma. Pero la jueza indicó que por conducir incapacitado por los efectos del alcohol, la multa es de $1,000 y será, perdón, no multa, la fianza es bajo garantía de $1,000. Y por el segundo cargo de incumplimiento de señal de tránsito son $1,000, también con una fianza de garantía. Your Honor, the interpreter would like to confirm the second charge. For the second charge is also $1,000 surety bond?
No, the second one is $1,000 signature bond through the jail.
Signature, thank you. Por el segundo cargo es una fianza pero bajo firma. No más necesita firmar y debe hacerlo a través de la cárcel.
So he would have to pay on the $1,000 on the DUI bond.
Entonces va a tener que usted pagar a través de una compañía fiancista por el cargo de manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol.
And he can sign out for the other bond.
Y para el segundo cargo solamente tiene que firmar, no hay que pagar una fianza.
As this is a DUI charge, he can only operate a motor vehicle in accordance with the Department of Driver Services.
Debido a que este es un caso de infracción manejando bajo los efectos del alcohol, usted solo puede conducir un vehículo de acuerdo a lo que indica el Departamento de Transporte.
So if he doesn't appeal the license suspension, he has to stop driving after 30 days.
Entonces, si usted no apela la suspensión de su licencia, usted no puede operar un vehículo en el estado de Georgia y tiene 30 días para apelarlo.
If he does appeal, he can only drive in accordance with whatever Department of Driver Services allows.
Y si usted apela el caso y el Departamento de Transporte le aprueba, le permite manejar, solo debe hacerlo siguiendo las regulaciones que ellos establezcan.
The next court date is June 14th.
El próximo día de comparecencia ante el tribunal es el 14 de junio.
If he makes bond, we will send a notice to his current address.
Si usted puede pagar la fianza y salir, vamos a enviarle un citatorio a la dirección actual.
Make sure we have his correct address so that because if he misses court, he can get a bench warrant for failure to appear.
Por favor, asegúrese que usted tiene aquí registrado en el tribunal la dirección correcta, si no, le emitirán una orden de arresto si usted no se presenta ese día en el tribunal.
And finally, no alcohol.
Y finalmente queda prohibido el uso del alcohol.
Does he have any questions about his bond?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta sobre su fianza?
Pues ahora solo 1,000 más la firma del otro 1,000.
So it will be just 1,000 and the signature.
Yes.
Sí, sí.
Pero si no tuviera la dirección.
Perdón, I beg your pardon.
Sí, no todo bien la dirección para ver la dirección porque a veces se equivocan por una letra.
Can I review my good street address with you just to make sure?
Disposition 14. I have 144 Roswell Commons Way in 30076, Roswell.
It's not.
No, it's not correct.
All right, please
Cuando-
please give your correct address to the deputy and they will put that in the chat.
Ok, por favor, dele bien la dirección ahí al delegado para que ellos lo escriban en el globito aquí de diálogo en esta plataforma.
Okay.
And deputy, if you could send that to, should I send it to Mr. Jordan? All right, please send it to Michael Jordan. He's listed as good. Thank you, Bogo.
Your Honor, I need to quickly perfect the record. I stopped for the interpreter. The factual basis would be that on Highway 9 and 140, the defendant was stopped. He was in an intersection. Defendant refused field sobriety, among other tests. Blurry eyes and slurred vision led to probable cause.
Yes, yes.
I had to put that on the record, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I've seen habeas petitions at every part of the criminal justice system. Thank you,
No
Your Honor.
problem. That is virtually right off the warrant. Madam Interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor. Sí, quisiera agregar porque le hice una pausa para la intérprete y los hechos de isofacto son de que en la autopista 9-140 se lo detuvo al acusado en la intersección en donde él se rehusó a hacer los pruebas en el lugar. Se le vieron los ojos vidriosos y también él balbuceaba. Debido a esto se encontró una causa probable para el arresto.
All right. Bogo, have you got his address?
It's the same one as listed on this booking sheet, but yeah, I put it in the chat to Mr. Michael Jordan.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you so much. That concludes this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next we got number 6, Mr. Durden.
Yes, sir. We have Brian Durden, accused of simple battery domestic violence. Are you Mr. Durden?
Yes, ma'am.
Case number 22 CR 003-412J from an alleged offense of May 31st, 2022. Mr. Durden, you have been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. We are first going to hear what your GCIC report is, and then we will proceed with the case.
Well, total
Okay.
2010 reckless conduct, simple battery, DV convictions. FTA as well around that time. 2011 probation violation, reckless conduct. 2012 FTAs for trespass notice, simple battery. His last arrest was 2020 suspended license. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor, we're recommending a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, LaShonda, spelled Lashanda, Benton. A stay away from address, her City Central Apartments address, 2285 Metropolitan Parkway, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. Third-party transfer of their child, 1-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, according to the police report, the defendant battered the mother of his children, Miss Benton, by punching her twice in the face and by pulling her hair. This incident occurred in front of their 5-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son. The defendant and victim no longer lived together. The security guard at the apartment, Mr. Akeem, spelled Akeem, Blackburn, witnessed the altercation. The incident started when Miss Benton came home to find the defendant waiting in front of her apartment. The defendant stated he wanted to see the kids and to come upstairs, but she told him no. That's when he grabbed her out of her car and punched her in the face twice and pulled her hair in front of the 2 children. Ms. Benton was calling the police when the defendant ran off, but the security guard tried to follow him. The security guard stated he did see the defendant and Ms. Benton tussling, and defendant punched Ms. Benton. It cut off when pretrial was speaking, so I'll just highlight what I have is his criminal trespass conviction in 2012 and simple battery family violence conviction in 2011, along with a discharge of firearms that was merged with reckless conduct in 2010. We also have concerns of him being a flight risk, being that he has 2 FTAs and 3 probation violations. Also, our victim advocate had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Benton, and she stated that this isn't the first time he's been physical with her. He always comes to her house unannounced. On April 12th of this year, the defendant came to her home and kicked in her door. And she plans to file a TPO and wants no contact and a stay away. And I believe she's on the Zoom.
She is. All right, Ms. Benton, I think your name is listed as Shonda. If you would like to address the court, you would need to unmute the screen, but you have an absolute right to not say anything as well. So it's really up to you.
I'm here, no comment.
No comment?
Yeah, she covered everything.
All right, thank you. You may mute your screen. Thank you so much. Ms. Kent?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Brian Durden is 33 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He is the proud father of 4 children, 2 of which he shares with a complaining witness, Ms. LaShonda Benton. They share a 3-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. Mr. Durden also has 2 additional children, ages 15 and 14. We are unopposed to the stay away at 2285. Mr. Durden informs me that he does not live there and that it does not have any belongings. Therefore, we are not requesting a law enforcement escort. Mr. Durden completed the 11th grade. He is currently employed at Goodwill. He has been in that position for the past 3 weeks. He is still on probation and is very concerned about losing his job. He denies the allegations, Your Honor, and although my client does have a prior history of convictions for violence, Your Honor, those are remote as well as the FTAs. So I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Durden's behalf, and if Your Honor is not inclined, then I would ask for the simple battery charge of bond of no more than $1,000, and we are, again, unopposed to the stay away, and we would request a third-party transfer. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond is set at $2,500. It is a surety bond. Next court date is June 14th. He's to have no further contact with LaShonda Benton and no contact with the 2 minor children aged 5 and 3 years old. Any contact with his children shall be accomplished through a legitimation action. He would need a superior court order in order to establish paternity and his right to visitation and custody of the 2 minor children who are currently 5 and 3 years old. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no firearms. And that's it. Oh, and stay away from 2285 Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia, that entire complex. Next court date is June 14. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we got number 13, Mr. McKeever.
Edward McKeever is charged with theft by receiving stolen property from May 30th, 2022 in case number 22 CR 0034170. Mr. McKeever, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
55 total. Last arrest was April 29th, probation violation, sell of cocaine.
Thank you.
Probation, possession of, you want more? That's enough.
No, that's good. That's good. Thank you. Mr. Cheney, I'm somewhat familiar with his criminal history record. Anything else you want to add, or we can go straight to bond?
Bond recommendation, Your Honor, is $4,000 surety. Based on, I did want to add, he has 5 figure 2 appears in the past. No weapons, no drugs, alcohol, no new violations. Stay away from incident location. Reading from the warrant, the defendant witnessed a robbery by unknown individuals where the victim dropped a cell phone. He picked up the cell phone. Ensuing investigation, the defendant was stopped in his vehicle and he had the cell phone of the robbery victim on his person. That is our case, Your Honor.
Understood. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. McKeever is 39 years old and he has been here in Georgia all his life. However, he does not have anybody who can help him out in terms of bond. And he does not have a job. He has not had it for a while because of his long-term unemployment, and he's not incapacity to help gain any help to get the bond. We would like to request for a low surety bond, maximum $1,000. Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond set at $1,000. It's a surety bond. Next court date is June 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think that concludes with courtroom 2.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so thank you so much. Just to go down the calendar, position 1, Allen, so
Excuse
3,500.
me, Your Honor. I apologize.
Oh, position number 8, do I have another case?
Did we do Kareem Grimes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
the case.
Thank you for reminding me. Yes, you had waived his appearance. Yes,
Yes, Your
yes.
Honor.
Sorry about that.
First arrest.
I know. Mr. Kareem Jamal Grimes is case number 22 CR 003415F. That is involving the 2 cases involving Sharon Grimes and Monique. Let me make sure I don't get it wrong. Monique Howard. He's been represented by Counsel Wanda Gant from the Public Defender's Office, who has waived his appearance at this initial proceedings. The alleged offense was from May 30th, 2022. Ms. Mitchell, unless you have any objection, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000 signature bond to pretrial services. No further contact with Monique Howard, to stay away from 719 Hutchins Road in Atlanta, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. He may return to that location one time only with a police officer to retrieve his belongings. Ms. Gant, anything to add?
Your Honor, I am unopposed to the $5,000 signature bond. However, Mr. Grimes informs me that he is the leaseholder at that residence, and he states that he moved into that residence in March of 2022. Ms. Howard moved in later in April. He has been taking measures to get her removed from the residence, Your Honor. And of course, we know that Ms. Howard was also arrested for battery as well in this matter. So we are opposed to the stay away, Your Honor. Would ask for a no violent contact with Ms. Grimes.
I don't think that's going to be possible based on the warrants I've read. I'm not comfortable with any of them being together at the same time. Mr. Grimes is required to stay away, and he will file the appropriate dispossessory action. He can return to the property if she vacates the place voluntarily. If she's not on the lease, she has to start paying the rent. And he can take this or a bond order and take it to his landlord to see if they can make the proper adjustments.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Because it is, well, it's not listed as DV, but it should have been. All right.
He's not inmates, is he? He's not
No.
inmates, is he? Okay.
No.
Okay. Any other cases to address? Okay. As I was saying, position 1, Allen is a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial. His case is further notice. Position 2 is a 2,500 surety bond, reset June 14. Position 3 is a $2,000 surety bond, reset June 14. Position 4 is a $1,000 surety bond, reset June 14. Position 5 is a $5,000 cash bond, reset date June 14, along with his second case, 20 CR 005925Y. Position 6 is a 2,500 surety bond, reset June 14. 7 is a 5,000 signature bond through pretrial, further notice. Grimes is a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial, further notice. Sharon Grimes, 5,000 signature bond to pretrial further notice. And Sharon Grimes is allowed to do telephonic reporting with regards to pretrial. There you go.
What about him? He live in Savannah too, right?
He's living here, but he has to, well, he may end up in Savannah too, so let's see. Position 10, William Hall is a $5,000 surety bond. Reset date June 14th. Position 11 is a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial for the notice. Position 12, 5,000 signature bond through pretrial for the notice. Position 13 is a $1,000 surety bond, reset date June 14th. Position 14 is a $2,000 split bond, reset date June 14th. Position 15 is a $2,000 surety bond, reset date June 14th. And the June 14th, we will bring both this case and the other prior case 22 CR 003-344E. Position 16 and 17, Small and Turner, each received 3,500 signature bond through pretrial for the notice respectively. All right, do you have any questions?
Yeah, what was the number? Give me the amount again for number 12.
Number 12. That would be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial.
35. That's project too.
Yeah, I did write that down. Counsel is Owen Lynch. All right.
That's all I heard.
Any questions about the dispositions? All right, we good? Okay, I see there's someone here from Hecht Family Law, sir. Did we miss out a client of yours?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you for recognizing me. I am here on the case of Zarek Zazinski. He's a 17-year-old who's been incarcerated since Friday night. There was a signature bond order that listed his father as the parent who can sign him out. Unfortunately, his father is in Arizona. And so we're trying to get the order amended so that his mother can sign him out. This 17-year-old has been in jail.
May I have the accusation number? May I have the accusation number?
Yes,
Should
let me
be
see if I have that
22
number.
CR.
I actually don't have that number, but Mr. Jordan, if you can hear me, perhaps you may have it. I've got two numbers here. Maybe I've got 1123-860 and I've got 2207-803. I don't know if either of those are the number that you're looking for.
We can have his case placed on this Thursday's SAP calendar, or if you reach out to Miss Michelle McCutcheon.
By the way, Mr. Jordan just put the case number in the chat.
Okay. All right, for your notes, it's 22 CR 003376G.
I'll look at it. Good afternoon, Your Honor. I thought what counsel had given us were the jail booking numbers, but I'll look this up. It's 22 CR 003376G.
Right, he's got an order for release. I'm trying to look it up right now. Okay. And Judge Mincy, no further contact with Zion Zazinski and something. Stay away. Okay.
Gavin.
Co-signer is Jeff Zazinski, and you want to amend that to whom?
To Glenna Zazinski. That's where to Glenna GLENNA Zazinski, as well as amend the order to remove the restriction from him returning to 1120. Grab the address. What happened was the parents are divorced, and I guess when he went before open court for his bond hearing, there was an assumption that the brother who he had to fight with was going to be in the home with his mother, so they would have his father sign him out. The brother who he had to fight with is now living in the father's home with his 20-something-year-old brother. So he's safe over there. He's not coming back to the mother's home. The father is in Arizona. Otherwise, he would have signed him out Saturday. So this poor kid has kind of gotten caught in this net where he's been in jail now for 3 days, and we're just trying to get him out. It's a scary place for a 17-year-old. I think it's, he's gotten a good lesson seeing the inside of a jail, but we got to get this kid out because it's he doesn't belong in a jail. He just graduated high school. He's a good student.
Well, Your Honor, respectfully,
So
on behalf
how
of the
can
state.
how can we get that changed so that?
Well, let's hear the prosecutor right now. Ms. McCutcheon?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, respectfully, Your Honor, the state is not opposed to amending the bond to have the mother as the person to sign as opposed to the father. However, the state does oppose the stay away being removed absent someone coming to state to the court that, in fact, and I know as an officer of the court, I'm not saying that what counsel is representing is not correct, but that is inconsistent with what the court heard at the SCA calendar, I imagine, on Saturday. And so absent someone stating to the court that information, the state would be opposed as to removing the no contact stay away provision.
All right. This is what we can do, Mr. Heck.
just
If you
very
can
briefly?
draft, excuse me, listen, if you can draft a proposed order modifying the bond order that was issued. The bond order was issued by Judge Regina Mincey, M-I-N-C-E-Y. In case, and you've already got the case number. And
Yes.
you can amend it to the extent that you are changing the name of the co-signer to the mother, and then you publish and you print out her name. All right. And the second portion, that he can return to the family home only as long as the alleged victims do not occupy the property. He can return to the property one time only with a police officer to verify that the alleged victims no longer reside at that property. And that would be Zion Zazinski and someone called Gavin Butkin.
Right, Gavin is a neighbor who lives down in the neighborhood. He doesn't live there.
Okay.
Once he returns, once the police officer verifies that Zion, whose brother is not, then may reside in the residence.
If it's verified that the two alleged victims are not living at the residence, then the defendant's permitted to return to the family home. Now, here's the thing. Once you've submitted that proposed order, it goes to Judge Mincey. You can send it to, you can send a copy to Ms. McCutcheon. Ms. McCutcheon, if you want to put your email to Mr. Heck, the order will go to Judge Mincey for her review and approval, because she was the one who heard the initial appearance proceedings.
Right. Okay.
All right.
And
I'll give her a heads up that this case is coming to her. So the sooner you get it to her, sooner you get it to Mr. Jordan, the sooner it'll get to her.
That's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your kindness on that. That made it worth the 2.25 hours it took to get to see you.
All right.
Is it possible to send me can someone send me a copy of the bond order? I have not seen the bond order.
He's really twisting the wire on this one. Maybe he should get cafe lattes for us next time.
I agree, Judge. I agree. Counsel, if you will put your email in the chat, I will send you a copy of the current bond order.
Sure will. Thank you all very much.
I think I see it. Is it ed@heckfamilylaw.com?
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah.
ed@heckfamilylaw.com.
And I just put it in.
Okay.
Yep.
I take mine with skim milk, 1 Splendor.
And I take mine just a cappuccino.
Okay, can I zoom?
No non-fat milk. A skinny cappuccino, Counsel.
I can zoom them both to you.
Okay,
right, Judge. I will email.
Yes, I submitted.
Know each other from previous cases.
All right, folks.
Yes, Mr. Heck.
Great.
All right,
Thank you
Mr.
all very
Heck,
much.
send it to Mr. Jordan and good luck. Thank you. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you.